Welcome back to Flyer Nation. Joining us now is Lewis University head women's basketball coach Lisa Carlsen. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thanks, Shane.
So the season has gotten off to a start so far with the exhibition games that you guys have played. Talk about what it's like to have a couple of the same starters returning this year as last year. I think there's 3 starters that are coming back this year that played last year. What's it like to have that same core of girls out on the floor?
Well, game experience is something that's really invaluable as far as being able to continue to progress as a unit. And so we return really the core of our team, although we lost a couple of really key seniors. I like what the people that we have coming back bring to the table, and especially as far as the situations they were put in last year as young players. And I really think it helps you grow as a team, and they'll be less surprised by what they see.
So you mentioned some of the players coming back from last year. One of the ones that we talked about a lot last year coming off the bench was Mariah Henley. And she's a sophomore this year, but got a lot of experience last year coming into games, late on in games when the team needed a little bit of an extra spark. What's it like to have a player like Mariah coming back to add to the team this year?
Well, Mariah has really worked really hard in the offseason. She comes back in great shape, and I think you're going to find that she's going to be one of those players on the floor for us that's really going to be a go-to player for us. A lot of things that we run, we want her to have the ball in her hands. And that'll take some pressure, especially off of Jess, as she continues to get back from her knee injury and get more towards full strength. I think those two, especially on the inside, are going to provide a lot of punch on both ends of the floor. And as well as having Lauren back for her 5th year, that really gives us a good dynamic in the paint.
So you mentioned Jess with her knee injury. She got that at the end of last season. Jamie Johnson is back this year after having a knee injury all of last year. What's it like to have Jamie Johnson coming back this year after being out for all of last season?
Well, having Jamie back is huge for us. She played every game, started for us every game as a freshman, and then came into her sophomore season really ready and in great shape, and then unfortunately had that knee injury in the first part of October. But if you came out and watched her now, you wouldn't know that she has ever had surgery. She's in great shape. But she's somebody who, as a team captain, really leads our team in a lot of different ways. And so we're excited to have her back on the floor, and she definitely makes us better.
So this preseason, your team is the preseason favorite to win the GLVC East Division again after winning it last year. And you start off number 18 in the nation starting the season. So, I mean, what's that like, having such a big target on your back right off the bat?
Well, I think when you look at preseason rankings or expected finishes and things like that before you've ever stepped on the floor in a real game, a lot of those accolades are due to the success that we had last year. And every year your team is different. People don't realize how young we still really are. We have one senior that's going to play for us this year, and you're going to get a chance to talk to her in a little bit. But really the core of our team is that sophomore and junior group. So as much as we think we're experienced, we're still fairly young. And again, we have some key components that are different than last year. So we'll see how that all comes together. But we don't talk a lot about the rankings, to be honest with you, especially in the national level. It's just everybody's educated guess, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Now, if we're ranked that way at the end of the year, I'll be extremely happy.
So, I mean, obviously you want to be ranked higher in the nation, and winning the GLVC last year was great for you guys. So what do you and the team and the other coaches do to try to get back to that point this year?
Well, if you talk to our team, they will tell you that our goal is to really take the next step at the national level. Conference championships are amazing and they're a lot of fun, but really our ultimate goal is to go farther in the NCAA tournament, and that's really going to be our focus. You have kids on this team who are very determined to make a difference at the national level. And I think obviously staying healthy or getting healthy is a huge part of that. But I think they have the right mentality. And if you go about your business just trying to get better every day, I think we're talented enough in some areas that good things are going to happen.
So is there anything else that you might want to tell the Lewis University community while you're here about the women's basketball team this year, and maybe some of the things that you guys are planning on doing besides obviously trying to win as many games as possible?
Well, I think if people come out and watch our team, it's going to be a really exciting brand of basketball. We're going to run for 40 minutes and we're going to try and put points on the board. We're not going to surprise anybody by that, but we're also not going to change what we try and do. I think it's a group of kids that are really, really unselfish, and that makes it that much more fun to watch. And I'm really excited to get going this weekend.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm excited to start getting back out there and seeing Lewis University basketball back in action. Both men's and women's are very fun teams to watch. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, Coach, on Flyer Nation. And we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll have an interview with senior forward Lauren Mead. Stay tuned.